one of the things that the privileges they were given was the right to eat human flesh.
Glory, glory, glory.
Jaguar there is eating a heart with blood dripping out of it.
Gee.
So the Aztecs had different classes of elite warrior orders. The highest was a Jaguar order. Again, it's just another indication that the Book of Mormon has a specific place culturally that matches what's in the Book of Mormon.
The following is an episode of WardRadio and does not represent the thoughts or the opinions of KHTS, its owners, or any of its affiliates, nor does it represent the official opinion of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. With that said, sit back, relax, and enjoy the program.
And they did it for a token of bravery, which, of course, this indicates another, just typical in the Book of Mormon, a ritualistic death.
Jeez, man, this keeps getting from bad to worse. Okay, keep going. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to WardRadio. I'm your host, Cardinellis. Today I'm joined in the studio by Jerry Grover, as well as by Josh Gailey and our new buddy, Armando. How you doing, my man? And I've never had a title of a YouTube video that is literally probably just 2 words, but here we go with Nephite cannibalism. Jerry Grover is going to talk to us about Nephite cannibalism. This is crazy. I've never been more excited for that was a solid act out. That was a good sketch. You know what I'm saying? A good skit, like in Boy Scouts. Jerry, what on earth is Nephite cannibalism, bro? What's going on? Talk to me.
Okay. Well, Mormon, during the final battle period, I actually placed this a little earlier, but
yeah.
He actually mentioned he didn't want to talk about any of this stuff. It was too horrible. But Moroni inserted epistles from Mormon, so they were just firsthand, unabridged. One of them involved, battles with the Lamanite King Aaron, this kind of thing. In that epistle, it's mentioned that the Nephites, he was talking about how the wickedness of the Nephites exceeded even that of the Lamanites. And of course, the Lamanites were sacrificing to idols and other things. They were using human sacrifice. But there's a couple verses that talk about that the Nephites were taking daughters of the Lamanites prisoner, raping them, torturing them to death, and then devouring their flesh like unto wild beasts, quote unquote. And they did it for a token of bravery, which, of course, this indicates another, just typical in the Book of Mormon, a ritualistic death.
Jeez, man, this keeps getting from bad to worse. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, and if you want to show, I've got kind of an Aztec codex.
I don't think we want that show. That's a pretty intense show you just described.
For real.
Yeah.
Okay, Aztec codex number, what number on this
9.
slide? You gave me you got a whole PowerPoint presentation here. All right. So the Jaguar and Eagle Warriors. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So this is a depiction of the cannibalism in one of the Aztec codices shortly after the conquest. I can't remember exactly how long that codex after when it was written, but kind of shows that actually it was practiced. There's a god there, so it's actually a religious ritualistic practice of cannibalism. Now, of course, the Aztecs were much later than the Book of Mormon times, but there was actually similar things happening in Teotihuacan. Now, I'll discuss what kind of happens with the Aztec, which we know because...
I feel like the way you put that on the screen, Cardin, it had literally Jerry sacrificing himself on the altar. That was pretty intense.
Zoomed in and out. Yeah. Pretty hardcore.
Okay. Presentation's over. I'm dead.
Yeah. I just...
You're all free to eat what you like.
It is time for dinner.
So the Aztecs had different classes of elite warrior orders. The highest was a Jaguar order. They also had an Eagle Warriors, an Eagle order, and they had a Coyote as well. Now, the highest level, one of the things that the privileges they were given was the right to eat human flesh. So it was actually a military showing, basically, as is mentioned by Mormon, as a token of bravery, meaning it's actually showing that this is only the ones that were able to have the military prowess could practice the cannibalism. Now, there's other things done to the Lamanite women. The coyote warriors is kind of related to rape and sexual stuff. So I don't want to have a lot of details.
Yeah, I was going to say this is YouTube, but we get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as you know, if the scripture talks about that they were doing it like unto wild beasts. So it's actually the military orders are all animals, all wild beasts. So it's actually consistent with what Mormon is saying in the Book of Mormon.
Jeez. Okay.
Now, those classes of animal warriors are also attested to in Book of Mormon times in Teotihuacan. Now, Teotihuacan basically was abandoned 500 or so AD, so it wasn't around for them to observe. But the Aztecs took a lot of things from Teotihuacan. It was located just north of where they were, and so they adopted as much as they could figure out. Some of them were traditions that passed on. There is in Teotihuacan, if you want to go to slide 11.
Okay, yeah.
A great site to visit.
I don't know if you've been to Teotihuacan, but there's a separate palace. They call it the Palace Atatelco. It's really not necessarily what you consider a palace now, as they've kind of done all the archaeological explanation. It's almost more like a barracks, like a military. So this is where the warrior, the eagle and jaguar warriors probably practiced and stuff. And if you can see from the murals here, they do have the jaguar and eagle warriors. The jaguar there is eating a heart with blood dripping out of it.
Jeez.
Human heart. So,
wait, so the Mayans were cannibals then?
Well, these would
Mayans are farther south.
Yeah, so the Mayans are Lamanites. They probably did practice some. I mean, honestly, the Mayans did have some cannibalistic things as well.
Yeah.
The Aztecs were much worse in terms of the cannibalism. They would, basically eat everything. They would kill the people and then cut off the hands and feet. The feet were special, given to the priest to eat. And so this practice is in Mesoamerica more broadly, right? It's not, that they did, and they cut hearts out and ate them, and that kind of thing. But I think what Mormon's saying is this is actually descriptive of what the Nephite culture element of cannibalism is, which is, again, more towards, this was a Tehuantepec up into
even a more extreme. I mean, it's all extreme,
but they're following a god
graphic,
complex.
but
It's different, I think, than the Maya, right? So there's some common beliefs, but the Maya were doing their ritual, basically human sacrifice for different purposes. It was like sacrificing to their god. In this situation, these are just, hey, we have a right to be cannibals, and we're showing our great power and strength. And
well, I thought there was no end to freedom of religion, but apparently I found it. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeez. Okay. Keep going, Jerry.
So again, it's just explaining those couple verses that it actually does reflect the Mesoamerican practices. What Mormon is describing is documented in Mesoamerica, as gruesome as it may be, but it is actually.
But even in the right time, Jerry, too. So
yes.
I think the course, kind of like I'm always overlaying things, but I think it's important, is like the association of Teotihuacan with the Gadiantans and how that is maybe respective of what's happening in the land northward, which is what Mormon's describing. So we have kind of that overlay of here's a place, here's what the archaeology is telling us, which is matching what the Book of Mormon records telling us,
right?
In a place at a certain time.
Yeah, the Nephites he's talking about are not necessarily Gadiantans. They're not
right,
but they're following the same religious practice.
But that religious practice is getting pulled in.
Yeah,
that's what is being described.
We don't know everything about Teotihuacan, and it had influence,
of course. Yeah.
Who was aligned with it, that kind of thing in the area. But again, it's just another indication that the Book of Mormon has a specific place culturally that matches what's in the Book of Mormon.
And no wonder Mormon was trying to avoid talking about it.
Yeah,
yes.
Again,
makes a lot of sense.
Right. And it's been argued that cannibalism was maybe blown out of proportion a little bit by the the Spanish coming in to maybe make the population look worse than they were, but there clearly was cannibalism, and especially in this warrior class, right?
Jeez Louise. Okay. Well, this was a wonderful note to end on.
Time for dinner.
Yeah, I was about going to say, we're about to leave the studio and go have dinner. And I got survivorship guilt for, a cannibalistic
Vegetarian delight tonight.
Yeah, dude. Well, I was about to say, I am having a salad.
Chickpeas.
I am having hummus, yes, with a salad. Armando, any thoughts on your ancestors' cannibalism? You said you were from
double portion.
You know what I'm saying?
Double portion.
He wasn't a cannibal. He was the one being eaten. His ancestors were being eaten.
Yeah, dude. Screw them, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Wow. Okay. I don't know how to end that. We're out of here. This is absurd. That for this and more, visit us.
This has been fun. This has been real fun.
I feel I want to go. I'm done.